Alright, Friday the 13th, part 4. Just finished it. What did you think?
That was the best one. Hands down.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that girl getting tossed out of the window and hitting the car, that was the best kill we've probably seen.
Windows explode.
The windows explode. That was probably the best kill. I liked that one more than the wheelchair because the slow-mo,
yeah.
it was just great.
It was a legit stunt.
Yeah, there were a lot of legit stunts in that one.
We just finished the 4th film. Just go ahead and get your general thoughts on it.
I've always enjoyed the 4th one. I think it's probably the best in the series. It's kind of the end of the first 4. That one is kind of the fitting end to this. I don't know, just the way they look, the way that the budget's set, the way everything is. Those 4 all kind of have a similar feel to them. And then from here on out, they kind of have a different feel to them. It's not a bad thing. It's just a different. But I've always thought that one just was the perfect Friday the 13th film. It's got an amazing Jason, great makeup, great gore, great kills, awesome cast. Corey Feldman is so fun in it. Crispin Glover is fun in it. The girls are all attractive and entertaining, but then at the same time it has a just kind of a gritty, mean, like Jason is not playing in this one. This is the first time where you see that he's just coming and running and throwing people through the windows. It's really, really good. I love this one. Okay, Brandon, we just finished part 4. Have you ever seen part 4 before?
I've seen it in pieces. I remembered the bits with Corey Feldman and some of the kills, but I hadn't seen it all the way through, or at least I didn't remember seeing it all the way through.
All right, Dustin.
Yo.
Friday the 13th, part 4, one of our favorites. What did you think?
Well, I think it stands down as, if not the best, hands down, maybe top 2 or 3.
Yeah.
It's also what I needed because, as you saw earlier, I was a little more tired, and for me, watching them, I like the later half a lot because I feel like, for one, a lot of the older stuff, first 3, they're fun to watch, but a lot of the characters are so throwaway a lot of times, and there's only usually 1 or 2 characters that you really like, whether they die or not. Once you get to 4 on, whether you like the movie or not, you can never say that it's not more original.
Yeah, it's been a while, but very good to finally see it in Blu-ray.
It looked good.
Yeah.
I thought the quality was good.
The audio, as you mentioned, was kind of...
There was some blowout on the audio, just kind of popping out, which was kind of sounded strange.
This film was titled The Final Chapter. Was this intended to be a final film, or had they more films planned in the works, or what was the...
I think Paramount always kind of was ashamed to make the films because they got so critically panned and people talked bad about them, but they made a ton of money. So I think they were kind of like, well, we keep making money with them. We keep making money. Let's do a big one. Let's send him off, and then we're kind of done. And I think this one just made so much more money that's what brings us to Friday the 13th 5, A New Beginning. So it's a total lie, to the audience. But at the same time, Savini bought it. And that's why he gave Jason a send-off that I don't know that any movie monster has ever gotten quite a send-off like the kill at the end there. Did you say they were shooting for more over-the-top style than more of a realistic style for the original first 2
I
or
think
3?
so. I think they were having more fun with it, but also not trying to make a mockery of it. That's why I think this one, more than any of them, has like a good balance of the scare factor to just the fun factor of it too. And a lot of movies, with horror movies, if you don't like the characters, you're just waiting for them to die. And this, it feels like a little bit of both. You don't know who's going to get what for what.
The heroine, I think, was my favorite so far. She was kind of fair throughout the movie, but as soon as Jason started pursuing her and she was in fight or flight mode, that's when she kind of came into her own. She did a really good job playing up the terror and, you know, playing up the fear of the scenes, and the fact that Jason was really close to her all the time and you got to see that. It wasn't jump scares like we're so used to in modern horror films where scares just come down to editing. These are genuinely creepy. He's close and you can put yourself in that position. And so this one, I think, is also the most genuinely scary of the ones we've seen so far.
The role of women in horror is pretty special. I mean, you think about Psycho, you think about Carrie, you think about The Exorcist, Nightmare on Elm Street, and in this series, and they all Halloween. You know, women. The role of women in these films is very important. How do you think, does that really impact here, or are women? Do they have an important role in these films? How does it compare to, you know, are they heroines? Are they just useless? I mean, or what?
I think that was a lot of people's complaints about this series, was that the women were generally, a lot of times they call it, you know, the fantasy of men to see the women chased, and they don't do anything but scream, but at the same time, this one in particular, she really puts up a fight, you know, and really tries hard. Smashes him in the head with a TV. Like, you just don't see that in a lot of them. But I do not think Friday the 13th as a series has the heroines that stick out, like Nancy from Nightmare, even Alice from Nightmare. So those characters kind of connect more. But not to take anything away from them, I think they all are great, and definitely the fans always have their own, the one that they like the most. I like Amy Steele in Part 2 a lot, and I like the girl in the seventh one. This girl, this time, I feel like I kind of watched it. I've seen it so many times, but she did stand out to me more this time. She did a really good job. She was really awesome.
She seemed very tough.
She was tough. She did that she jumped out the window, you know, that was awesome. Yeah, I think she really was the first female we've seen that's like, damn, she was kind of a good opponent for him.
Right.
This one's got a pretty good cast. What did you think about everybody?
Best looking girls, Crispin Glover being weird and Crispin Glovery, and a little Corey Feldman with a fucking creepy ass bald cap at the end. It was all wrinkly, showing his all wrinkly head.
But we've all kind of discussed the cast of this one. Definitely is an improvement and makes the film more entertaining.
Some strong, you know, kind of B-level or A-level at the time celebrities. I guess with Feldman, he was kind of a rising star. But any movie that has a TV smash on somebody's face is going to be a strong hit in my book.
When we rented this film on VHS a long time ago, how many times would you estimate we rewound the TV smash to the head?
At least 10. At least.
Would you say that this movie worked well being placed now, kind of almost halfway through, to kind of get you kind of revitalized again?
Yeah, even though it was the best movie, I was definitely feeling tired for about halfway through it. There was the scene where Corey Feldman was like sucking on 2 lollipops, and I was like, I'm tired right now watching this. And then the kills started happening, and we were in it, and that was good. I needed that ending for that movie.
Any of the kills stick out to you?
I'm sure it's been mentioned by the other guys, but the jump out the window is awesome. And when she jumps out the window, and when the other one's thrown out the window, the banana one will always be one of my favorites. That bitch is gross.
It became very obvious to everyone that you really hit a ditch on this one.
This is where what we do here, I think, is like kind of special. Like watching a film series all at one time in one day, and for an adult, you know, as you go into your life and you have different responsibilities. 2 years ago when we were doing these a lot, I didn't have a lot of responsibilities in my life. Dan, you didn't have a lot in your life either. But now We're both married. We both have young children. For us to spend a Saturday here watching 8 films in a row, it starts to wear on us. And so for me, I'm thinking about what the hell's going on at home and what my wife is probably going to do to me when I get home.
Well, I think
So I think that's, can I take it? I mean, this is the torture. This is another element of the torture. It's not just a bad film. It's, can you put yourself in front of 8 films or 7 films with all the other things that go on in your life?
feeling all right.
Yeah, that's what I was
You
saying.
keep
like,
saying you want to watch 10 of them.
yeah, I'm the only one right now that's saying that just because it's the ridiculousness of it, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and I know that from this point on, all of them kind of are really kind of over the top, you know, and plus for me, we're getting closer to the birth of a new version of Jason that I like a lot, so.
So 4, you're halfway in.
Yeah.
How do you feel? You got 4 more to go.
The fact that we're only halfway through is a little concerning because I was feeling it during that one and thinking about doing what we just did again.
Yeah.
Not being fresh, you know, already being a little fatigued.
Right.
It's going to be long.
It doesn't really surprise me, but could you talk for a second about how you feel? You do not seem to be phased at all. You seem to have been, throughout the whole time, consistently energetic. You haven't really shown signs of being tired or, like, upset that you're, like, it's not, nothing's, like, hitting you like, what the fuck am I doing?
No, I mean, it's been enjoyable. And one thing I have noticed, I maybe felt a little tired during this one, but one thing I have noticed is the time today is going by super quick. Like, it feels like we started this about 8:30. It feels like it shouldn't even be noon yet, and it's, 4 o'clock. So time's flying by really quickly, so I'm sure it'll be dark before we know it.
Have
But
we
no
ever
fatigue.
watched part 5 together?
I don't think so.
I don't
5
think
and
we
6 are very vague to me. 7 I really know well, and then 8 I'm not sure I've ever sat through the whole thing.
Yeah. It looked good.
How familiar are you with part 5?
5, I'm looking forward to seeing just because that one I've only seen I think a couple of times, and they were
What are your recollections of your feelings for that one?
definitely knowing that it's not what you expected, but not necessarily bad either, I think even some of the worst Jason movies are still better than a lot of other horror movies. So,
definitely.
But yeah, it's fun.
Just cause you play